What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Showcasing another new deck, kind of. So I've been playing a lot of generators recently, and I really wanted to max out what generators were. So I didn't know what that was exactly until I kind of explored, just thinking, right? Generators struggle because anytime they have one of the monsters in the hand, it's a complete brick, right? Which is a bad thing. So how do you fix that? So the first thing that came to mind was the Dear Servant, because you can send, obviously you can send the Tri-Brigade Farigite, because it's like draw one and send one back, which is good because you're replacing one of the bricks and hopefully finding something good. So, okay, so Dogmatika Generator, perfect, that works. But these are both really small engines, right? Generator takes up like 11 cards, and I think Dogmatika takes up maybe like 7, so you could still have like 9 hand traps in there, and then you're not even close to 40 at that point. So what else is there? Well, what goes really well with Dogmatika? Invoked. So okay, Invoked Dogmatika Generator, and that leaves you room for so much disruption still, because Invoked is really small. At most it's like 7, but I'm actually running like a smaller package, and generators every single turn give you advantage, basically. And also they do really cool stuff to get around, extra deck locks, all that kind of stuff. You're getting a banish every turn, an Omni Negate maybe, and then everything else is just traps. So here we go. So he ended up effect veiling my Alistair play, which is quite alright. So I luckily had, the Maximus in my hand. I'm going to be able to send a couple cards. I'm playing Shadal, I found out, so I don't know. I think he kind of goes all out too early, like, to be honest with you. So he goes for the aerial play, the Squamata, and okay, so I have the Omni Negate there. He's going to try to go for Gamma. I run 3 Strike, and I used to run 3 Solemn Judgment, but now that's actually Crackdown, because Crackdown's insane. It's not using a lot of decks, but considering how many hand traps they're playing, I mean, yeah. This card's really good. It definitely helps, manage that. And here you go. You see Crackdown here, so I'm getting rid of his Omni Negate. And I'm giving it to me. Also, this is a rank 9, and wouldn't you know, every single generator big boss monster is a rank 9 monster. Also, Har has to give, to negate, you need either tokens or spellcaster monsters. Alistair's a spellcaster, and all the Dogmatikas are spellcasters too. So what you're going to see here is me go into a rank 9 with his own monster, but I do also have a copy of, obviously Makapa in my deck. So which is really sick. So you're able to get rid of a lot of monsters. And, during this, these are all quick effects that happen during the standby phase, right? So in an emergency, boom, there we go. Just banish this monster. Not going to be able to flip it up. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so then I can just go ahead and banish the last card in hand. That's going to be the Gamma. Then I can activate Magical Meltdown. Then I have the Dear Servant. Like, this deck is so good. Okay, so this is literally a Kaiju deck, which is pretty funny. I remember it was in that vote for Create a Card contest, and I'm very glad that it did not go through. I go back and forth on Boss Stage. It kind of sucks. It's a copy of Boss Stage that triggers the effect, right? Which is pretty cool. But it does give your opponent so many cards in their starting hand. So I don't know. Kind of feels like you should just take it out. Okay, so the infinite permanents can come down. Boss Stage is just, it literally does this by itself. He goes ahead and negates there, but alright. Because I think the tokens are something different. Okay, so they're just lights. Interesting. But they're light fairies, and this is a light rock. And I can go ahead and banish the TC boot there. Basically, what I'm doing is not attacking into this Kaiju because otherwise he'd be able to Kaiju me again. You can only control 1 Kaiju, right? So if I just set up my plays and then eventually I'm ready to go for a game, then obviously I'm in a pretty good spot. Also, I know he's running Dogmatika, but I'm not going into the extra deck. I'm not playing into that either, which showcases just how versatile this deck is. I mean, you're hitting your opponent from so many different directions. You have 9 hand traps, 6 trap cards, and then all of your monsters are also negates, which is obviously quite nice. Super polymerization. He's got the Harpy's Feather Duster. So I'm going to go ahead and negate that. Obviously, I want to keep these double imperms. I'll attempt to negate there. He's going to avoid it by doing that. He still has to discard a card. But I'll go for, the invokes. I definitely want this to go through because he got rid of, like, his Dragoon package. Like, he can't go into it anymore. He goes for the Agoides. I never know how to say this word. Augustus? Something like that. I have the Ash Blossom there. So this guy had so much interruption. And I think he's going to go into, I guess, another Super Poly. He probably was trying to go into Dragoon, but he was forced to discard a card. And they could have been Ecclesia, but I guess he decided, why not? And then I top deck into Deer Servant. And the next turn, boss stage is still going to give me advantage. And then I have Maximus too. So I can probably, I don't know, I probably would have sent like a Wind Pegasus or something like that. I didn't even need to send in a Deer Servant at that point. Here's Elderlich. And if I was just playing like pure, like this would be pretty good, right? Because the dimensional barrier would be, like, actually, I don't know why if I'm activating the Deer Servant, like, what are you doing? And why are you negating the Elder, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like, ugh. But, I mean, considering how much, like, this, like, disruption he kind of had, like, I'm just completely just dogging it for the most part. Because I'm going to have the Punishment, the Solemn Strike, and Infinite Impermanence with plenty of follow-up. Like, this is going to come down again next turn. And then I top deck a boss stage. So, like, boss stage in the later stages of the game are much better, obviously, when your opponent doesn't have, like, 20,000 cards in their hand. And I can start, giving myself some advantage. I'm going to draw one. And, yeah, since he's playing Eldritch, if he doesn't have access to Eldritch, he can't do anything. I'm assuming he's also playing Dogmatika cards, if he had that in his extra deck, or... Oh, I don't know. I don't think Eldritch is good enough, like, literally by itself. I think it does need to be paired with another engine, personally. Here we go, just a couple tokens. Still lots of forms of disruption, right? The Torrential Tribute doesn't really do anything. Especially because this negate is just online. I'm going to let that go through. I think he was hoping that I would negate that, but, like, who cares? Because I still could have gone for game, and I still could have negated, the effect of Torrential Tribute with, by tributing these two guys. Or I could have targeted the Caro to pop another back row, which could have been the Torrential Tribute to force it out. Something like that, so that's pretty nice. This is a match against dinosaurs. I always feel like I have a terrible time against dinos. And they probably feel like they're doing pretty good here. They have a Dark Ruler no more and a Kaiju. This would be the cool thing if I had boss stage. I'm sure I do in one of these replays where you go through the Alistair play and then you activate boss stage. So you kind of have this protected boss stage play. I don't want Lost World to go through. And obviously this Dark Ruler is not doing anything at this point. The only thing I'm worried about is his one miss. So I will Solemn Strike that. Although this is a great tech card. Burial from a different dimension. It's kind of random. But it returns his miss to the graveyard so he can use the banish effect again. And I'll go ahead and activate Invocation, go into the Augustos or Agoides, whatever. I'm probably not saying any of those wrong, or any of those right, I should say. I do go for this monster because anytime he, special summons, I'm going to be able to pop that monster, thinking of, obviously the, I can't think of the name. Yeah, the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. That's what I was trying to say before. But that's sick. That's super cool. Because he's going to go into it, and he makes a really bad misplay here. I'm going to pop this because considering he can go full combo, he could have gone into a rank 4 too. It felt like a checkmate, but he tries to just attack right into this, but I'm just going to go for the double, attack boost. And so instead of flipping all my cards face down, I basically just get to survive a churn, which is really nice. And now I have an effect veiler, so anything that he draws off the top is just, getting hit with this, of course. Because he tried to special summon back, the scrap, the new scrap monster. So that was pretty cool. I got lucky, honestly. It was just a misplay. But here's the other, match here. DD Crow's pretty decent against dinos, but he did brick pretty badly. So shout out. The boss stage can come down. That I can go into this. I can pop his Lost World, of course, because this card's just insane. He did go for the Droll, but that's alright, because Droll doesn't really matter with boss stage, which shows case why this deck is so good too. Again, another reason, Go for the Infinite Impermanence. maybe I should have gone for the Omni Negate, considering I don't know if he's going to go for anything else, but alright. And yeah, I have so much disruption. Like, what are you going to do? He doesn't have any non-dinos in the graveyard, so... Or I guess he did, but he banished them now. There's just a few more. This is against, like, Dark Magicians, I suppose. Nothing too crazy, but a little bit... Like, this hand obviously would have been much better going first. But we'll see what I'm able to work with here. D didn't really have anything. I mean, Dark Magicians, you know, they be like that. So we'll go through the regular kind of invoked plays. This is going to be Makaba. Then I can activate, you know, Ecclesia. And I think I actually forget to attack during this turn, which is pretty neat. So we'll go ahead and send a couple cards. It's going to be Elder and a Wind Pegasus. I'll pop his back row. Don't know why he said it. I guess just to fool me. I will negate because horror is just, you know, a complete brick in my hand. Technically, I could have, you know, sent something else, you know, off of Maximus. I could have sent the Tri-Brigade monster, but that's okay because I feel better with the Wind Pegasus, honestly. Because he is going to go into Magicinalized Fusion. He's going to destroy the Makaba, but the Makaba is just going to send that right back. This card is amazing, and considering how many layers there are to this deck, like it's just a wild card. He's going to special summon back, you know, Dark Magician, but I still have a pop with Maximus because Maximus can send Elder. I run multiple copies. Obviously, your extra deck is just not tight at all. There's just so much space. Just allowing you to do kind of whatever you want. Really, a lot of it's based off of Maximus. Invoked, and then that's everything else just kind of for fun. Or, you know, toolbox, I should say. And this is the other duel against Dark Magicians. This one's a little more interesting because he does go into the Dark Magician that protects the spells and traps in the back row, so it can't be targeted or destroyed. So I got to find a creative way to do it, and you'll see here, you know, how I ended up getting over it. This is such a lame hand, right? And look at the top deck. I get 2 boss stage, a terraforming, and then now the Magical Meltdown. How cool, right? How cool. So I guess I don't know, search another Meltdown so I don't draw it into it later. I already have 2 boss stage. Oh, and this was what I was talking about, right? You can go into your kind of like invoked plays and then go into boss stage. I used to have this at 3 and boss stage at 3. I still have boss stage at 3, but I brought this down to 1 because of terraforming in case you draw it. You almost always want to go into boss stage, and then I put Alistair, you know, at 3. Because if you are in the later stage of the game and you top deck a Meltdown, it kind of sucks because then you're forced to make a difficult decision. I knew he had a Magician's Rod, so I'm just obviously going to negate that there. And the punishment, just kind of waiting. You know, we'll see what I end up using it for. I could have boosted the attack, but I don't know. I'd rather keep Alistair to be able to go into some fusion plays. And, you know, the Solemn Strike can be set for next turn. I'm sure that will come up at some point. And the cool thing is that this is a rank 9. Like, I did this earlier, but yeah. So this is non-targeting banishment, and also, like, it's very versatile, of course. So, you know, if it survives a turn, like a random card from their hands getting banished. He has 500 life points left, and I still have 2 forms of interaction. Nope, make that 3, because I still have another copy of Har in the deck. Like, oh, dude, that's just so awesome. He's going to go, I think, like... Nope, he's not going to go for the battle phase. He's going to try to go for Magician's Rod. This is a dark monster, so he's going to be able to get over it. And this is actually not an activated effect. It just goes straight to 5,000, which is pretty interesting. I thought I'd be able to Solemn Strike it, but who cares? Because I'm just going to be able to... Well, this is game anyways, right? Because he wasn't going to get that boosted attack. And I did have the Solemn Strike for the answer, so he can't special summon like a Dark Magician from the deck. I'll banish the last card in hand in case there's like a Battle Fate or something stupid like that, right? But yeah, that was just like the end of the duel. Nothing too wild. But this is like a really, really cool one here. This is against, you know, Buster Blader. He has pretty wonky hand, unless he top decks a 1, in which case this hand would be a lot better. So we'll go ahead and send a couple cards. I'm going to send the Titan Clad, the Ash Dragon, and the Wind Pegasus, which is cool. And the Crackdown is going to put in a lot of work in this duel, of course, right? I shouldn't have ashed this. This is just stupid. Who cares? It was just a complete waste. It was just a misplay. I don't know what I'm doing. But I am going to go ahead and crack down this Buster Blader Now, this is interesting. Like, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but I'm not like 100%. I've never been in this situation before. So this Buster Blader is attached with the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword, right? So it's like a Buster Lock, like a complete Buster Lock. Although, here's the thing. I control the monster, but he controls the equip, so I'm going to guess that I've effectively Buster Locked him, and also he has like so many dragons in his deck, right? So it's like he can't do anything anyways, but I'm pretty sure he cannot go into the extra deck now. I'm like 99% sure. We'll go ahead and send a couple more cards. I'll destroy the Synchro. I can't attack with this, obviously, but I'm just going to keep this because this is really good. And I have another Crackdown, which is nice. Oh, so he's got the Where Art Thou, which is he's gonna get a double search. I don't really know what Jester does for the deck, but he can't activate this effect. So yeah, sorry, don't know what to do. And this last duel is against Ultraguy. I ended up winning this match, but the other duel wasn't so interesting. And he does get to go first, and it looks pretty nice. So we'll see what the capabilities of this deck going second obviously are, which is really good because of how much disruption you have. Okay, so we'll go ahead and activate Disciple. We'll get, just, might as well get started, right? We'll see what he's got back there. Broken Line is so wonky. I just don't know why you would play that card. And I was going to be able to get rid of another one, basically a 1-for-1 trade, which is basically what happened there with the Torrential Tribute. It's not like they have, like, that. They're not that important, right? Plus I have the Solemn Strike and the Infinite Impermanence, plus an Omni Negate now. I have the follow-up again with Disciple of the Deer. It's going to attempt to attack directly. I will go ahead and negate there. I will negate the summon of Hexia. I will negate the search, although I probably shouldn't have. He tries to activate Solemn Strike, but that was in the Infinite Impermanence column, which, of course, I did on purpose. And, yeah, that was pretty nice. So even if he did end up destroying all these with Torrential Tribute again, yeah, what are you going to do? Really could have probably let that search go through, because he would have to discard, so he maybe would have to discard the Conqueree, or whatever the case may be, and I did still have the boss stage, but yeah, I had so much follow-up, like, I had just, completely, taken over the duel there, which is pretty nice. But yeah, that was Invoked Dogmatika Generators. Hopefully you don't think it's like a gimmick type deck. It's actually pretty real. It's pretty cool. Something that I would play like at an event if I was going to play something kind of rogue-like, because I think it's that good. But yeah, other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.